That can be really intimidating for a lot of people and hold them back. But we all have that capability inside of us. We just haven't tapped into it. We haven't utilized it. And we have to do some shifting of that corporate programming in order to open that up. And that's what I specialize in doing. And once we open that up, Harry, there's no limit to how much we can do and how fast we can grow.
Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and wisdom of how they sold their first million.
In my opinion, simple skill. I don't think it's that complex, right?
Here's why. It's because of the perception of sales. What people don't realize is if you're living and you're breathing, you're selling. If you're in a relationship, you're selling. If you're buying anything, you're selling. Anything you do, you're selling. You know, even our religions and things like that.
To be your product or your idea, but you're always selling.
You are. But what people get the perception when you talk sales, because it was always a used car salesman type of mentality is posted on sales. And a lot of people are grown up with that. Now, the younger generation doesn't have as much of that, but it's still. And then the other thing with it is we take it very personal to get a no. And sales puts you on that front line to receive a no. And so taking that personal. So we got to learn ways to maneuver around that.
And then people cannot cope with rejection. They make it personally, right?
And sales is just conversations. It's just helping people, you know, with what I do today. And I had to shift it some because when I came out of corporate, I did sales. I went out and landed 15, 18, $25 million contracts and stuff. So now with what I do, I don't sell at all. What I do is I have this process and I have the results and I have all the stuff I have to go with it and stuff. And so I talk to people and I tell them what I do and how I do it. And if it rings for them, great. And if it doesn't, somebody else, you know, there's somebody else it will for. But we put so much weight on getting the yes. One of the things I tell people I used to do myself when you're doing the cold calls, I used to play a game and go for 10 no's a day. And I'd call somebody and they go, no. And I would check it up. And then somebody goes, yeah, I'd like to meet with you. But the thing that takes the weight out of it is the personal aspect out of it and to understanding.
Because dealing
all
with
you're
the
doing
rejection,
is offering somebody something.
Yeah. You know, yesterday I was watching the movie, the McDonald's movie, and the story of Ray Kroc. And at the beginning of the movie, he was dealing with a lot of rejection. You know, he's trying to sell this milkshake, and everybody was saying no. And again, you make it. You don't have a right mindset if you don't have the right statistic. If you don't have the right, you see, there is something. If you look in Google, you will see that if you talk with 100 people, it's impossible that you will close the 100 people. It doesn't work like this. You need to know that if you speak with 100 people, depending on your product or services, you will convert at a certain rate that probably will be below 10%, probably below 5%. So with those numbers in mind is when how you take the phone call or how you create this email or how you create, of course, can be improved yet. If you have someone like Joseph with a lot of experience, years of experience on the field, can he refine your process? Can achieve a better conversion? Of course, yes. However, it's the mindset, Joseph, where it goes into the way. So how you overcome this? How you when you started your business, which is completely different game, because now it's very easy to be VP for the corporate because you see you're selling somebody product, selling somebody else, but now you're selling yourself. And a lot of people get really uncomfortable selling their own product. This is a massive thing. Go there. I know people that they're amazing selling product for other people. When it comes to the product, there is that fear that they want to charge cheap. They don't communicate the value effectively with this blogging. So when do you realize, Joseph, that that you have to work on yourself to clear out all the mess within your mind that we all have when we have businesses? That, okay, this is my product, I'm proud of it, I'm gonna share what is right, and I'm gonna work with people that deserve my product, and definitely it's not gonna be anyone. And actually, I'm going to choose who I work with. So how you,
it's really like, somebody selling $2 widgets. You know the difference between somebody selling $2 widgets and somebody selling, $200,000 equipment? It's their perception. And we all have those perceptions in our subconscious, in our programming, inner programming, and things like that and such. So one of the things I did when I first started doing this is I was undervaluing myself because I wanted to get clients. I wanted to start making money. I wanted to start growing the business and things like that. And then as I got into it and deeper into it, then I started, and almost every client I work with, they want to do that. They want to undervalue themselves. So understanding and learning that for myself and seeing the downside of that, then I can help people to elevate that right from the get-go, coming right out of the gate. But remember, Harry, what took me years to understand and put together into what's now the SMT method takes my clients weeks. So now when we come out of the gate, we can set the value at the true value of it and stuff rather than undermining
and the right price.
And I did that for a while, and it hurt me like anybody else doing undervaluing would do that.
Oh,
and so
my
it
God.
forced me to have to make that shift upwardly.
I literally lost millions doing this because in my first property business, that was a property business. I remember it was the credit crunch, 2008. And then without even, that was my thinking, the credit crunch hit. And this is what I said to myself. I said, look, I'm going to lower the price of my product because now there is a crisis and not everyone can afford it. And I had to keep the business alive. Guess what happened? The same amount of rooms that I have empty at the regular price that I was selling. Now I lower the price, so it's less income is coming to the business, and I still have the same amount of rooms empty, even more. And I took a hit, and I lost a lot of money. I took a lot of time to go back. It took a little bit to go back on my feet, and this is what I realized after this process happened, because I had to evaluate why I lost so much money. And I find out that the people that buy on price, they buy because the product is not important for them. For example, if you don't care about shoes, you will buy the cheapest shoes. If you don't care about a car, you will buy the cheapest car. But if car is important for you, you're going to find a car that have the most value communicated for your money. And look, every car that everybody's driving, definitely you don't see any driving the cheapest car, or you don't see anyone wearing the cheapest clothes or using the cheapest mobile phone. So whatever is important, so I end up by lowering my prices, having the same quality of product, attracting the kind of clients to my business that care less about my product. And that was a very painful position to be there. And I have the same problem, because my problem had nothing to do with the product. My problem was my lack of capacity to bring new clients, marketing, facing the credit crunch, and I lowered the price and the problem is the same. So I have to, until I didn't improve my marketing and increase my capacity to attract clients, the product came. And again, I'm increasing the marketing, but the product is now cheap. So now it's a lot of resistance, because it's a place to live, and people, you will be shocked, but people don't want the cheapest place when it comes to live, because this is important for them. They have to make sure they sleep so they can work, that the hot water and everything works, and the cheapest product is not actually communicating is a place to live. So I did learn just this on the hard way. So pricing is a big thing. And again, the entrepreneur, because we don't have experience, our first idea is let's sell cheap so client is going to come. And this is a big mistake.
I did that, Harry.
Me too.
I did that.
Welcome to the club. Everybody does it. Why everybody does it? I did it, you did it, everybody does it. Why?
Well, because we want to get the business rolling, and our mentality is thinking the lesser is better. Even the wider audience I have is better, and things like that. So I started out that way. When I talk about that vision, the first step, getting clarity on who is the ideal client, who's the ideal customers for that, and who do you want them to be, what level do you want them to be, and things like that. I had to go back and do that and hone in onto the area that I serve today, because it wasn't working when I was a free-for-all for anybody that wanted, help with mindset or things like that. I'm laser focused now. I help people in corporate that want to have their own business. I help business owners, and then I help like corporate sales professionals to really scale their business. That's who I serve. If you don't do that, not that I don't have people coming to me like that, but that's my laser focus on the people. So as I get laser focused there, because part of this is marketing too, right? As I get laser focused on that, I start attracting more of those types of people. I start going to events that have more of those people.
Which are the people that you actually can help the most in the first place. And it's the people that you like to work with on the first place also.
Yes.
You're doing a favor to yourself by niches. I always say, the riches are in the niches. The more you get laser focused, the more you start to attract this type of people that actually you can help the most. But I guess that just there is no business school, there is no become an entrepreneur school. I think that, and even if I come and I will tell you, that's the other thing as well, the ego of the entrepreneur, because there is also a lot of resistance we find into the founders that when you say, hey, you see, I have a great mentor for sales, Joseph, he's amazing. I have a lot of experience. He worked with a lot of entrepreneurs. He definitely can help you to increase your sales so you can hire more people. You can be free. You have time. They are thinking, well, you know what? My business is different and I will figure it out by myself.
And I'll give you a bonus. Mm-hmm. Right. I'll give a bonus number 6 to my 5. Okay.
Go for it.
Number 6 was, if you're coming out of corporate, then your programming includes logical, strategic thinking. You figure A, B, and C to get to D, and then all your to-dos and all your exhaustive efforts and everything else and stuff like that. And if it doesn't work, we typically try harder and all that stuff. Entrepreneurship is about a flow. It's about a creativity as it's happening, as it's flowing and things like that. So the strategic thinking only creates more hiccups and heartaches in the whole process.
Absolutely.
We can get into that flow. So every client I work with coming out of corporate, I actually have to help them throttle back a little bit from that strategic thinking.
Tell me about it. The other day I was about to speak in a conference, and it was somebody giving a conference about critical thinking to entrepreneurs. And I'm listening to the speaker, and he's saying, look, when you have this decision, you need to evaluate this, you have to compare this to this, you have to do this, you have to do this, you have to do this, and you have to do all this in order to take a decision. I'm thinking, man, when you're running and starting a business, you have to take hundreds of decisions a day. And if for every decision that the startup founder, it will go to this process, it will never get this done. So it sounds amazing in book, and when you're in a big corporation, critical thinking is amazing, how you analyze and how you take the decision, how you evaluate things. But let me tell you something, when you're to 0 to 1, this critical thinking theory that coming from a book, forget about it, because you have to you have to do completely the opposite. You have to learn how to decide, have a fast decision and stick with it and make it work whatever it takes. And along the way, interesting. I'm seeing the audience, all the startup founders, and this guy is coming to deliver this conference, like he's coming from that is the corporate trainer, corporate trainer that goes to a huge corporation and give conference for corporate. And for that environment, it's amazing. Because they're a big organization with a lot of employees and everything. But don't talk about this to founders, because it doesn't that comes of critical thinking for corporate have nothing to do with the critical thinking, Joseph, that an entrepreneur need to do, especially in the 0 to 1.
The same principles don't apply.
Yes.
They just don't apply to it.
I was there in the conference. And we've seen the speaker, I'm seeing the others, and I'm like, am I crazy? Or this doesn't really make sense. And they say, no, Harry, but this is a great speaker. He's so famous. I said, great speaker, and he's so famous, but it doesn't make sense why he's talking to the people.
Right. Yes. So, entrepreneurs it's about that moving. It's about making decisions on the roll. It's about doing those things. And that can be really intimidating for a lot of people and hold them back. But we all have that capability inside of us. We just haven't tapped into it. We haven't utilized it. And we have to do some shifting of that corporate programming in order to open that up. And that's what I specialize in doing. And once we open that up, Harry, there's no limit to how much we can do and how fast we can grow and where we end up, even in a year from now. With it.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.